What is good today? I hope you are all well. Today we're going to work on intertwining your modded quest with the vanilla quest. But there's a couple things I want to go over before we start. One is this. The DLC quest, DLC 2 MQ01, that's a Dragonborn quest at the start. Now if I open this, I want to show you something. Code not loaded. So that means you haven't unpacked the scripts yet for the Dragonborn DLC. This is something you don't want to mess with. If you unpack the scripts, that's fine. If you don't know how to do it, then don't. If you ever open one of these quests by accident, do not hit OK to close it, ever. When you hit OK to close the quest out, it tries to recompile the scripts. Now, if they're not in there and the code's not in there, it'll recompile it as empty code and it'll throw an error. The quest is now broken. Your mod is now broken. If someone installs your mod after you've done that, it will break their game. It'll break your game. So best bet is if you're not unpacking code and you're not sure what to do with that, don't mess with the vanilla quest. Don't open them. If you ever have that issue and you do this by accident, close it out with a red X. Do not close it out by hitting OK. If you're unsure and you think something happened, close out the creation kit, and if it asks you to save, hit no, and then reload. That way you don't alter any quests. Now, I don't unpack the script except for the main quest, so we'll go to Unbound. When you have them unpacked, you'll see the code, like right here. And these ones are fine. I still usually don't mess with vanilla quest. Any modder that's done that, I know they had good intentions, but it's not a good idea, because that is game breaking. Your mod can become a game breaking mod. So that's something you do not want to do. So I'm going to show you how to do this without touching these quests. I'm going to jump into the game and show you where it's done on the Dawnguard DLC and how I did it with a quest called A Daughter's Solace. As we load into the game, I want to go over a couple things. One, I don't make videos just to make videos. Usually when I make a video, it's leading up to something. So this information, this quest was already in a video. Now I'm going to show you how it's done. The video I made of how to make a great quest was leading up to this tutorial. So any questions you have about this quest, I will redirect you back to that. If you do find these videos helpful, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. I appreciate it either way, even if you're just watching. Hopefully it helps you. That is the main purpose of this whole thing. But from here, I needed to find the Bloodline quest. You'll find that by where you want to intercept it. I want to intercept when we met Serana and change the meeting to a different setting. And this is what we did right here. As you can see, the dialogue that shows up.
I'm okay. Really.
So now we jump back into the creation kit and figure out how we did this. The first thing that needs to be done, like any dialogue in the game, it doesn't matter what you're doing, it needs to come off a quest. You have to have a quest running in the background. This quest I have has a lot of dialogue in it. It has a lot of different things going on, but I use this quest because it's always running when the mod starts to have this happen. So, in the game, you heard this line. It said, "Are you okay to head out then?" "I'm okay, really," is what you just heard inside the game. And you heard this.
I'm okay. Really.
Now, the way this was done is I put the dialogue in with conditions. This is not the quest, A Daughter's Solace. This is just the dialogue to lead into that quest. This quest is always running when this mod is going. So, first thing I have, get and sell, Dim Hollow Crypt, O2. Obviously it's going to be Serana, so get his ID, active Serana, set that as 1. All of this was done without ever touching the vanilla quest. I'm always preaching conditions, dialogue conditions. Everything can be done with dialogue conditions. A lot of scripts can be skipped with dialogue conditions and it makes the mod run better. But to find this quest, instead of fumbling through all the vanilla quests in the creation kit and end up screwing a script up in one of them, I use the Wikipedia page. Just search the Wikipedia page for the quest you're looking for. Now mine was a bloodline. So when you look that up and you go through, usually you scroll down to the bottom of the page when you find your different quest. These pages are huge. Go down to the bottom of the page and you'll find the quest stages and the quest ID. DLC 1 VQ02. Quest called Bloodline, and it says stage right here. It's when you finally meet Serana You freed her from the crypt, and it tells you to lead Serana to her home. That's when the dialogue is going to show up. The dialogue is going to show up by me using this condition right now. Get stage DLC 1 VQ02 stage 5. So that means that's the only time this dialogue will show up. And this is the dialogue that leads to a scene. And if you want to see the scene, go back and look at my video, how to create a great quest. I don't make videos just to make videos. That video is leading into this tutorial. So when I make a video, it's to lead into something. It's to get the understanding before I release a tutorial of something else, so you can see the whole workings of it. If you want to see the whole workings of how this quest worked, go back to that video, and that shows everything in there. Because I don't want to keep repeating the same thing in videos I make. That's the only reason. So to be clear on this, all of this was done again without ever touching the vanilla quest. And so the dialogue can only show up during stage 5 of the Bloodline quest. So that's how you get it. It doesn't need any code to push forward a stage, because this is the only time it's ever going to show up. Up here I have it at say once. Then it goes through a couple other things. When stage 5 passes and you're going to move her out of the crypt, this will never show up again. So you've made a clean entrance into a vanilla quest without ever touching the vanilla quest. Now the way I did this, the scene where her and Gallus get into the argument when you first meet, leads up to this moment. We still haven't touched the vanilla quest, but the vanilla quest is running the Bloodline quest. So what I'm going to do now is have some more dialogue come into the vanilla quest using the same way I showed you how it worked with a set stage, and have something else, and that's going to start the quest of Daughter of Solace. What you saw in that first part, what we just went through, is how everything was done to intertwine a quest. You're using the set stage of the other quests to allow dialogue from your quest to come in. Right now, all the dialogue has been put in from the quests I had run in the background. We're going to go back into the game to let the dialogue come back in, and I'll show you in the creation kit how that was done, and from there, how we started the quest from here, A Daughter of Solace, to run in sync with this quest, the Bloodline.
Do you know where he's staying now?
No, and I'm not going to waste men looking. We're fighting a war against your kind, and I intend to win it.
Actually, now that I think of it, I'm going to come along with you. I've been really wanting to get out and explore a bit.
Here is where Dirtyborn will intercept with a quest again. Always let your quests flow with the game.
No, that's a personal choice. You don't think different of me because I'm a vampire, do you?
So now back in the creation kit, this is where that video comes in handy that I released. It says prepping to make a great quest, or tips and tricks. You have to know what quest you're looking for. We've already went through the Bloodline quest. We're at the point now, we're in the Prophet quest, where I want her to come back in. So we're actually intersecting multiple quests without touching the quest at all, but making it flow with the game. So we're going to start out here. DLC 1, Serana, get his ID. Obviously in the cell is going to be the Dawn Guard the DLC Dawn Guard headquarters. And you got to get the IDs. You can get the IDs, all of this from Wikipedia. Now we need this quest. It's DLC 1 VQ03 Hunter. Now that quest is the Prophet quest. From here, where I wanted to pop back in, is on stage 10. And I found stage 10 in here. You return back to the Fort Dawn Guard. You went through everything. You speak with Isron. And then you have this, stage 10. So that's how that popped up at stage 10. Hopefully this is all making sense. I'm trying to explain it the best way I know it. It's just literally finding where you want something said and setting this exact one we put in the last one. Get stage DLC 1 VQ03 Hunter on the right stage to do it. And that's how that one went through. From here, there's more dialogue that comes in. I'll show you in the game. This is where I start A Daughter of Solace quest. And I'll show you how I did that with the rest of this dialogue right here. Let's go back into the game.
A woman showed up here right before you did. I heard someone call her Serene. Could you introduce me to her before we go?
I knew it would come to this one day.
So back in the creation kit, This is where it started when she started talking. I gave you the rest of it. It came to here. It was kind of a rough start. With Gallus wanted to speak. Now, this is the part you just heard. A woman showed up. You can introduce me before we go. Now you're going to go down into the script. You're going to create a script. However you want to just put in something like this to start. And put a semicolon. And put quest start. Now from here, you have to add whatever quest you're going to start from this point. Like I did, a Daughter of Solace. You have to edit properties. And then you would start here adding a property. You change this to quest. And then when this closes, when you change this out, name it whatever you want. And then from here, open this up. What I named it IDS2. And then you're going to find what your quest was named. That was the quest named for this, for a Daughter of Solace. Click in there, click OK. Get out of here so you got your property in there. And then you take the name, what you named it in the property, set active, set stage 0, where you have the start point. And that'll start your quest at the end of this dialogue, like you just saw. That is everything you need right there to show you how to intertwine your quest or combine your quest with another quest and have it flow along with it. Everything I just gave you is everything you need. You're just going, the only thing that's different now is now that you've started a Daughter of Solace, which is going to be... Now the reason you see an H and a V. Now, the H for the SSS Dawn Guard is for headquarters. That's for if you took the Dawn Guard side of it. The V is if you took the vampire side. It was 2 individual quests done the same way I'm showing you how this one's done. That's why when you choose to find your quest, make sure you're finding the right quest. When you're looking for the vanilla quest like Prophet, which we did for this one to get this started, there are 2 Prophet quests. One is the Prophet quest if you're a vampire. One is the Prophet quest if you were part of the Dawn Guard. I brought you through a Daughter of Solace. So in here, once that quest starts, everything you were doing in the quest you had running in the background, you can now do in here. When you go to this part right here, same thing you got. I'm using both. So I want the get stage of this quest, which is a Daughter of Solace, end of the Prophet quest. So sometimes you have to use 2 get stages. You have to be I need to be the same stage in a Daughter of Solace and the same stage as Prophet for what's next to come up. Everything I just gave you in this tutorial is exactly how everything is done. It's repeatedly done through using conditions without ever touching the vanilla quest. I hope this helped you guys out. Hope you're able to make the quest you want using this tutorial. Hope you have a great day.
Before we go, I want to thank you for trusting me.
I have no idea why he would trust you, but I don't. You're just another vampire that can't control her urges.
What's this? I see what you're doing, and it's working.